Okay, so I wanted to share what I learned after posting for 100 days in a row right here on YouTube. Yes, you heard me correctly. Your girl for the past 100 days, and today is day 100. Today is May 15th, 2026. I posted every single day for 100 days, and I wanted to share with you what I learned, y'all. If this is your first time clicking on my pretty face, thank you. My name is Lesline, and I am also known as your favorite nurse yogi. I am a registered nurse with 12 years of healthcare experience, and I'm also a certified yoga instructor with 5 years of teaching experience. So I actually made a short form, or what do you call it, like a carousel post where it's like 10 pictures and I wrote what I learned. So we're going to go through each slide and also check my typos because I will be posting this across all my social media. Well, with the exception of LinkedIn. I don't think I'm posted over there. I don't know. Maybe I can repurpose it. And that's what I'm doing here actually because I made the carousel first. And if you're not, well, carousel is the pictures that you see on Instagram where you just swipe, and people put text overlay over a picture, over a video. And the more that I'm creating content, I am studying what people that are more ahead of me, how they post these type of pieces of content. And I've noticed with carousel posts, they'll have the same picture for like 10 of the carousel posts, and they'll just change what they write on each picture. So that's what I decided to do. So we are going to, so I posted on YouTube for 100 days, and here's what I learned, even when life lifed. When I tell you, I literally, and that's what the next slide says, days into me deciding I'm going to commit to 100 days, we had to put our dog down. I made a whole post about that. A whole video right here on YouTube about that. And what is so powerful, everyone should have a way to express themselves. Why is my camera going to die? What are we at? My God, help us all. I'm at 30%. See, I don't like that. I'm recording. I'm going to get into about my dog, but I'm recording on my DJI. I want to call it DJI Pocket Osmo 3. And it tells you in the top right that like your battery life, and it's red. And when I see red, I think like 5%. I need to change that setting because once it gets 5%, then I'm going to be scrambling. But it's 30%. That is more than enough. Amen? More than enough battery. So days into, so we started this challenge. Let's actually look, what day did I start this YouTube? Because it was back in February. February, 3 things happened. We had to put our dog down. I got a new job, and I decided to do 100 days on YouTube. Those 3 things happened. Those for a regular person, because I ain't regular, baby. I am not regular, would take you out. But I'm just built very different. Okay. So this was 3 months ago. I posted why I'm doing 100 days of YouTube, but it doesn't tell you. You might hear my voice. I want to see the actual date. You heard my voice. I need the actual, why did I put somatic healing? I guess. Hold on, y'all. I need to see. February 5th, 2026. I said, I am going to do 100 days of YouTube. Meanwhile, our dog was he was becoming very sick. He was not himself anymore. He was breathing really heavy. We have a 2-story house. He could barely walk up and down the stairs. Towards the end, he just would like stay downstairs because there's no carpet and it's cooler because we live in Orlando, Florida, and it's really hot, right? And he just got really gray, like around his his nose. He just wasn't his playful self. He wasn't barking as much. When I tell you, the dog barked all the time. All the time. Really funny story, actually. I'm drinking my coffee, so. Really funny story. It's funny now. There was like a police chase, like a high-speed police chase outside of our neighborhood. And how our neighborhood is structured, it's fenced in, okay? It's a gated community. Long story short, you hear those sirens. We hear the sirens often, so that's, neither here nor there. We live off of a very busy road. But next thing you know, the cops come into the neighborhood, right? This was like 3 years ago now. The cops come into the neighborhood and we're like, what's going on, right? And then our neighbors are like, are you guys okay? Mind you, we don't even be talking to our neighbors like that. And we're like, yeah, like what's going on? Like, well, we're like, what's going on? Because that's why we were all coming outside, because there's cops in the cul-de-sac. And the guy was like, I think, our neighbor, he was like, I think one of the guys that they're trying to find is in your backyard. And we're like, what are you talking about? And mind you, like, we were all outside, like me, my husband and kids, we were all outside, but our dog was in the house. And I'm like, why don't I hear him barking? Because when I tell you, like, even maybe in the first few videos, maybe he was barking. I wonder if he was. I should look back at that. I'm not going to, but in like old content, he was always barking. You would hear him barking all the time. And so me and my husband were like, somebody's back there, and Maddox, that was his name, is not barking? So it turned out one of the people they were trying to get was hiding under our kids' trampoline. And my husband locked eyes with the guy, and he was like quivering, shaking. The guy took the neighbor's chair from his patio, put it against our fence, because it's our fence, jumped over the fence and hid under our patio. And like my husband's like, yeah, we like locked eyes, and then like they came and the cops took him. And that was a little scary. And then literally like a week later, I was leaving. Me and my husband were leaving because I got a brand deal. I'll call a thing. I got an opportunity to teach yoga on Nurse Blake's NurseCon cruise, NurseCon at sea. And my kids at the time, like, they were even younger than they are now. They were like, oh my God, they were so scared. And I feel so bad. But like, anyways, that's just a little sidebar. But yeah, it's funny now because, sorry guys, I'm trying to close something and I shouldn't be doing that while I'm on camera. What was funny about that story, because like, girl, that's very concerning. What's funny is ever since then, I would be like, Maddox, you ain't worth shit. Like, because he was a big dog. He was an 80-pound dog. He looked like Scooby-Doo's cousin, brown dog, Mutt. I don't know what he was. We got him from this girl that had like a litter of these puppies. When we got him, it was actually after I had a miscarriage and I just needed something to fill that void. So we had him before our kids, like a year or so before we got pregnant with my son. And yeah, so Maddox will always have a special place in our hearts. And I just always made fun of him ever since then. It was an inside joke with my family and some close friends that like, this dog is the worst guard dog ever. He looks scary, but he wouldn't even hurt a fly. And you know how certain people say that? Y'all know what I'm talking. Certain people say that about dogs, but then the dog is actually like very like evil. No, because another story about dogs, we had 2 dogs. And the first dog that me and my husband got when we started life together, when we moved out on our own, the dog that we adopted from the pound. It was a 2.5-year-old beagle mix, and she attacked my son. Maybe we had her at this time now, we probably had him like her 3-4 years, and it was the pandemic. I'm going to get into the rest of YouTube, so don't worry. But I just want to give context of something of why I say what I say about dogs, because I've seen 2 different personalities of dogs, like personally. So we get this dog at 2.5 years. I want to put this too, because things like it matters, like context of stories or like the details. Because I don't like to point blame on people, like if they give me the full story. So I adopt this dog. Kids were I wasn't even thinking about having kids. We just got married and I was like, we need something in the house. I don't want to just look at my husband in the eyes. Yes, still in the honeymoon, but I need something else. And so I go to the pound. I see Belle, beagle mix, 30 pounds, blonde dog. So she looked like when I say beagle mix, she was a beagle. Her shape was small like a beagle. And then her fur and how she looked was she was blonde. Okay. Not a golden retriever, but like a lab. Yeah. She was a lab beagle mix. Very cute dog, perfect size, especially because I did not grow up with dogs. So when I see her, I was like, yeah, perfect size. Like, I can handle that. And they're like, okay, just so you know, she has been returned. Like, she was on the streets. She was on the streets running rampant, right? And we took her in, and a family that had young kids, they adopted her, and they returned her because she was being aggressive, and they gave the exact scenario. They were like, one of the kids came up to the dog while she was eating, and the dog was like, "Urgh," like growled, right? And that's not good if you have young kids and whatnot, because the dog can attack. So I was like, that's fine. I'm not having kids anytime soon. Just give me my dog, right? So I get her. It was perfect. And then once we had our kids, at the time we had both of the kids, it was 2020. We're all in the house. And my son at the time was maybe 2.5. And and we would tell him, like, don't do that. And one day he you try to block things out, but I think he touched her face or her butt, and she pounced on him, and she almost got his eye, y'all. Immediately after that, we were all on the couch. I always remember, my husband was asleep. I was on the couch. Our daughter Violet was like 9 months or whatever. She was on the couch, and Lennox screaming, and my husband was like, "What happened?" And I was like, it just happened so fast. And Maddox, the bigger dog, was like, "What are you doing?" Like, he was trying to be like he was so confused, because keep in mind, Maddox, like I said, we got Maddox from a lady that had all these dogs, and we got Maddox at 6 weeks old. So Maddox only knew us. And I always say this: if you are a young person and you're about to like get married and have kids and all this, and if you have a pet, if your pet is not good with, like, you see how your pet interacts with people prior to you having kids, you really want to consider giving that dog to a family member. I know, because pets are family. So, like, it's hard, though. And my opinion is, like, ideally, you don't have a dog yet, and you probably, once you get the kids, you're going to want to get a dog, whatever. Make sure you get that dog like you're the first owners, because we don't know Belle's life before. And like I said, the pound did a very good job, so I can't even blame. They did a very good job of like, this is what her life was like. We're just letting you know. You can't sue. You know what I'm saying? And so that happened. And then we immediately are, thankfully, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they don't want kids, like, at all. They have a dog, and Belle and that dog, they're cordial. They've interacted before. We immediately called them. We're like, you have to pick up the dog. Like, the dog attacked Len. And we're like, what? Like, it was this whole thing. And then my family, my mom specifically, was like, you need to give that dog, like, that dog need to go away, and Maddox needs to go away. And that was a really hard conversation that me and my husband had, because I felt the same. I agreed with my mom. I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, my son almost lost his vision. You know what I'm saying? And you'll still see to this day, he gonna probably say, like, he gonna probably be like, give some thug story. Let me stop. But it is a dog that attacked him. He still has a scar right here, and then a little bit on his lip. And that was, girl, when I tell you that was a lot, because we had to bring him immediately to the emergency room. It's COVID. So me and my daughter couldn't go in, because you remember at that time, it was very limited of who comes in and out of the hospital, as it should be. So my husband went in and, mask up Lennox as best as he can. I don't even remember if we put a mask up, because his face was the part that was messed up. And then, I think we had to come back the next day. Like, they patched up as best as they could. I forgot what they did. When I tell you, I just kind of stored that in the back. And then the next day we came back, and that's when they did the actual surgery. And then you had to, he's a toddler. So when a toddler has a surgery, how are you going to tell a toddler, don't touch your face, don't do this? Oh my God, that kid. Anyways, so with that, she now is with she's actually still living, because smaller dogs tend to live longer. She is still with my in-laws, living her best life. When I tell you, she's living her best life. That was a really hard moment in time. So anyways, after, so then now you have more context. We had 2 dogs, then now we had Maddox. Then Maddox we had to put down. And that was really hard, especially for my son, because I was actually really proud of my son, because he could have been very, how do I want to say this? It happened to him so young, right? One of his family dogs attacked him, and I didn't think he would want to be near Maddox. And kids are very resilient, because it was actually really just interesting to watch how he became very close with Maddox. And towards the end, both of the kids are like, Daddy, Mommy, I think you should take Maddox to the veterinarian. And we're like, yeah. And then we had the conversation, like, just so you understand, the veterinarian's not gonna be able to fix him. Like, me and my husband agreed we're not spending thousands and thousands of dollars on him. We made that decision. Even if I did have the money to do it, I didn't want to. That's a very personal decision, but we both agreed on that. So that was really hard. And that was literally, we put Maddox down February 13th. And like I told you all, February 5th is when the first video was posted. So it was like within that week, I'm going through all of this. I posted, I just boom, 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 every single day within that week of putting our dog down. Then I also started a new job like that. Was it February? Let me see. I started a new job. So then there's another video I did, which was my highest performing video out of these 100 days. It's I quit my corporate job after 8 years. That was how it opened. Here's what I learned. The gag is I didn't become a full-time entrepreneur. I actually went to a different corporation because I just felt very stagnant at where I was. But a lot of people, especially on YouTube, at least my corner of the internet, are wanting to become full-time entrepreneurs. And so that title did really well. It got 62 likes, almost 2,000 views for a creator that has less than 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. That's a really big deal for me. I have to look at the watch time, but the watch time was, I want to say it was like 40 hours of watch time, which was really good. Don't quote me on that, but it was a good amount of watch time because that's where I'm focused on right now. So that video did really well. And that was right when I was going over to the new company. And so I have this low of our dog, putting our dog down, in this high, kind of a high of starting a new job. So there's that like weird feeling of uncertainty, questioning life, typical millennial existentialist crisis things. And so, days into me deciding I'm going to commit to 100 days, we had to put our dog down, and I started a new job within days of each other. Talk about stress. And then that same weekend, so like we put our dog down on the 13th, the 14th, I did a self-love event with a friend of mine who is a self-love coach. So she did her self-love coach stuff. I did the yoga portion of self-love yoga class. It was blissful, but then at the same time, like literally I left that morning to my son devastated. When I tell you I felt terrible, And like these are things when people are like, entrepreneurship is a lot about, these are the things. And that's why I like being over here on YouTube, because I can tell you like all of this. These are the parts of building a business, becoming an entrepreneur, especially a mompreneur, that are hard. Leaving my son. And I'm like, I have to go to this event. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm sad. Oh, God. Anyways, let's move on. So posting daily videos on YouTube forced me to learn my work ethic. And I actually learned about, I need to change it. And I actually learned about me, about myself, and the traits that I have. Oh, okay, that actually kind of makes sense. So I wrote this really freely. Posting daily on YouTube forced me to learn my work ethic. And I actually learned about me, about myself, and the traits that I have that have assured me I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Oh, yeah. And I really honed in on these two traits below: consistency and discipline. And so discipline, and then in parentheses, I put, seems to be a lost art at this point, as everyone thinks they deserve to be an overnight success and are afraid of work. I truly believe that. So these past 100 days, I have really strengthened my discipline muscle. I have really strengthened my consistency muscle. The reason that I already had these muscles to begin with is because of my because of exercise. It's always going to come back to that. Because I know how to exercise, not necessarily know, everybody knows how to exercise, but I have a workout routine. I have an exercise routine for myself. I have translated, or what are we saying it now? It's a transferable skill. Like once you're able to be disciplined in one area of life, and this is what I've said throughout these 100 days of YouTube, in order to build consistency, you have to, like, if you're like, I want to be, watch this. If you're like, I want to be consistent on social media, Leslie, you inspire me. I don't know. How do you do it? How do you do it? That's what people are always asking me. I'm going to start saying this, even though I say this all the time over here. And you're hearing this for the first time, but you have to be consistent in your health. You have to be consistent in your health. More specifically, you have to be consistent in your exercise routine. When you lock in, like the girlies say, when you lock into your exercise routine, every other area of your life becomes easier. It is not necessarily that it's easier, but you have built up resiliency because you be slinging those weights. And by you, me, I be slinging those weights, did an exercise today and actually did it live on YouTube. And the people on there like helped me stay accountable to myself. And it's hard. Lifting those weights are hard. It's heavy, especially if you're a skinny girl like me who doesn't have muscle. And if you're a skinny girl, you can relate. It is hard. You're like, I'm weak. You're saying all these negative things too. You notice that with exercise, it is all mindset. It is all mindset. And I can say that firsthand as somebody that has run two half marathons within a year. And then I've done 1 or 2 5Ks. I've run races. It's mental, y'all. It's mental. And that resiliency that I've built for myself, when I tell you it's inner. I don't need external motivation. I'm not going to lie, I want it, but I keep going because I have that internal drive. I have that discipline and consistency, and that's where people fail. So you have to focus on your health first, and then you can busy yourself with social media or whatever area in life you're wanting to focus on. But that's the question I get all the time. How you do it? The same way I have to clock into the people's job is the same way I clocked into YouTube. I set an alarm on my phone for 10 a.m. every day. At this time, I would use part of my lunch break from my corporate job to record my video. It was that serious for me. I get this question a lot too. How do you post content? Like you're always posting content and you work a job and you're a wife and you have young kids. How, Sway? Social media, YouTube, I am building my digital footprint, right? It's already built, but I'm now establishing it and, positioning it to become more thought leadery, all this stuff like strategy, right? That is, 10% remaining. We're going to wrap up. We're almost done. So I made sure to write that in detail because people be like, aren't you afraid that Susan at your job is going to find your YouTube video and then show your boss and you're going to get fired? No, I'm not. And I say these things specifically that I do my things on my lunch break. I clock out and record the video. I have to say these things because a lot of people, I guess, don't have common sense and will take advantage of working the people's job. And I will not do that. I am respectful of the people's job. I do what I need. And thankfully, I have a job now that is uber flexible. I only work 2 hours today because I work tomorrow, Saturday. But this is the flexibility I like, right? I enjoy consuming content on YouTube, and I'll never forget what a coach told me. Wherever you like to consume, go create there. When I tell you I ran with that, I remember that coach. Shout out to Coach Hannah. She was like, yeah, wherever you like going, go, like wherever you are constantly on YouTube, create there. Because there's because like I have some friends, for example, like I love Threads. I love to read what people, I like Threads. I enjoy it, but I'm getting better and better at my writing, and i.e. writing these carousel with the words. Oh my gosh. I prefer to just word vomit. I just prefer to word vomit and be on camera. And I know that's a skill it's making me lots of money. It is like I'm making money every day from posting these videos. Over the course of 100 days, I built a library of wellness resources that have helped women take better care of themselves, of their health. And then I showed receipts. Shout out to Laura, who comments every single day under my post. Laura, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being in this journey from the beginning. Like, I really, truly, truly thank you. So I just snipped one of your comments where you said, this vlog resonated with me for sure. I have type 2 diabetes, ended up changing my diet, still have a lot more changes to implement. Thank you, heart emoji. And then, you know, so I'm telling people, if you want the free YouTube playlist, and then I'll send the link because I'm going to post this like on Instagram. So if they want to get a hold of their health, because I'll close the video with this, I'll close the library with this. If you are needing help with your health, because like I already said, the truest way to build consistency is having a exercise routine. If you don't have an exercise routine, you need to build an exercise routine. Exercise is scientifically proven to reduce your cortisol. We're talking about hormones, hormone health a lot, which is amazing. But I feel like right now we are too focused on the perimenopause and the estrogen and the progesterone, but we ain't doing one piece of exercise. And I'm here to tell you that if you work out consistently, and consistently does not mean every day, you will have a better time once perimenopause and menopause comes. And that's the whole reason I built my 12-week preventative health program. So you can click the link down below, check it out. And also, this whole 100 days of YouTube is here for you for free. Thank you again for being here. This is the last day. So bye for now. And I'll see you when I see you. Okay.